Hello, guys. A very good morning to you. And we are live everywhere. So, how you guys doing today? I hope that you all have had a awesome weekend together with your families. And um, good news here on the gold. We were expecting the gold to reach the 5,000 mark on Friday. He actually reached the 5,000 mark yesterday. And the good thing about it is that we were bought up to the 5,000. We actually held the position a lot higher together with some of our students. Some liquidated the position, some didn't, some took some partials out and held on to it. But now let's see exactly what's happening with our gold, shall we? First of all, welcome to the trading cage. This is where we beat the gold every single day in it. All right, so let's have a look at what has been happening. Let's go over to our daily chart as we start every single day. I'll take some lines out of here. This was from our study yesterday. So we'll take those out. I'll leave those in. I can leave that one in. And, okay. I'll remove this one and that one. Cool. Just gotta find out which one is this one. And we should be sweet. 2 seconds. Let me just drink my energy drink because today I started at 5 o'clock in the morning. So a bit tired. Done. That's it. One Red Bull for the day. Today's gonna be an awesome day. All right. So we are here on our daily chart. What we can see straight away is that we are above that 50% region. Okay, this is from the last retraction that we had, so we are above that 50%. Also, what we can see is that candle 27, which is the candle that opened last night, it tested the support of candle 26. Okay, so it broke through that 50% region, and then it came to grab the liquidity that was on top of candle 25, and then it came down. Okay, so but for the moment, we are still above this 50%. Only relevant stopping point we have at this moment for this price is the minimal of candle 20. Okay, so this is the only relevant stopping point we got at the moment. I'll take this line out of here because we've got this arrow there. So that's totally fine. What I am expecting is that if price finds good support around this 50% region, we will see gold coming over to these regions here, which are the trigger candle 20 and then the relevant stopping point of candle 19. Okay, prior to coming back to this maximum high here. Once price breaks through these two, then we'll see price accelerating through until the new record high, which is pretty much up there. This can take a few days, or with the amplitudes that gold is working at the moment, we actually might see it in there a lot faster. Okay, so we've got good frequency at the moment and good amplitudes for the gold. So we might get in there really quick. But for all we can do is have a look at what it's doing at the moment, as we are day traders and speculators. So we are free to speculate. But all we can do is have a look see where we are on the chart and what we can do and what the chart actually shows us. And then we'll see what actions we should take. So at the moment on here on our 1 hour chart, what we can see is that price is just using that 50% there as a support for the moment. We have the support below, which was the maximum high of Friday, which is this region here. Let me mark this one out. So price has been using this region as support, okay, for today. Price is above trigger candle 71 now, which was the candle, the trigger that I told you guys that could hold that price around the 5,000 mark, which is pretty much what happened on Friday. Price got stuck in there in this region here, and I said, look, the only thing that's going to stop this price is candle 71. Price opened up with a huge gap last night. We actually wanted it to open up in the region of candle 115, because if it did that, that would mean that we could buy here. If it tested support, we could just buy here and sell here. That was about 3,000 points for a stop of 3,000 points. So it was 1 for 1. This would be a very awesome trade. But then that's not what happened. It opened up with a nice gap. So we had to wait for that candle to test this region actually 3 times before we actually bought. And then we bought somewhere around here on the 5-minute chart. And then we took this trade all the way up there. What we can do for now would be good to wait for candle 14 here, which just started. We'll have a look at a lower time frame to see how 15 minutes doing, because we have this trigger candle here, number 8, who could be holding this price, not allowing this price to go back up. I am a buyer, okay, on the gold today. I do prefer to buy than to sell, simply because we are above 50%. We are above most of the trigger candles that we had prior to this. So everything that could actually hold that price, we have managed to break through. The only other region that's putting pressure on the buyers at the moment is this one here. Let me see if I can. Oops, where are you? Here. So this trigger candle here is the the only one, together with candle 8 and candle 2, that could be holding their price right now. Okay, that's a good region in there. But we are just in between support and resistance up above. But I do believe that once price breaks through these candles, these trigger candles, it should accelerate. There is a lot of liquidity up top here. Okay, so there's a lot of liquidity in there from the opening of the Asian market last night. So there's quite a bit in there. We don't have inefficiency on candle 62 anymore. That was very much taken out last night. Let me clear those out. We don't have those. We've got liquidity on top of this region, but then we have that trigger candle right there, which held that price in there. So we've got to be patient with these chart, okay? One other good thing about being a buyer in this market is that we are above this 50%. Okay, we can actually draw that FIBO. So we are well above that 50%, okay, which is good. So we are above that 50%. We are above the higher the macro 50%, and we are above today's 50% right now. So today's 50% is right there, and price is right above it. So this is very good. Apart from this, on the 1 hour, let's see what else it can get out of here. We do have the trend line going up right there, so we're still above that trend line. That's a good support for the price. Let's see if there is any region of price equality at the moment. Region of price equality is this below here, so yeah, it's that one. So we are above it. We can actually mark this one up just so we have it in mind. We have this one. Okay, cool. We'll put a color as light blue so we don't get it confused with anything else. And we'll unselect it. All right. So we've got support around this region as well. If price decides to come down, we have resistance up above. We've got support just below. There's no shorts in here, so there's no trend lines in there. So that's fine. Cool. Let's go down to our 15 minutes and see what we can find. On 15 minutes, we are totally consolidating at the moment. Okay, so we got price pretty much sideways, using the 50% of the day as support for the price, then came below to grab the liquidity it had in here. So that's already taken. Sorry guys, I'm still with a bad throat from Friday, so I'm having some meds, but didn't quite work yet. Still waiting. So it took that liquidity from here, from below. The only other one we would have right now would be down here. Okay, so it's below 47 and also below candle 13. So price could come around this region to grab that liquidity. If it does, it might actually induce sellers. Let's see. So if price actually comes around there, we could easily be seeing price coming down here as well, simply because we've got a whole bunch of liquidity in there, and we've got inefficiency here from candle 63 as well. So we'll leave this one here. If price breaks through that 4,970 region, we could be looking at a sell, okay, at the market coming down a bit more to grab this liquidity and possibly coming back up. Remember that this region here is a very good support to the left, okay? So region of price equality and also very good support to the left. So if price comes around there, it should be all good for us. We can use that as support and as target as well. We can short it here and then take out there, and then we'll be sweet. At the moment, candle 53 closes about 50%. This could be actually a good buy right now. Just thinking, because we got where would our stop be? 1,000 points. 1,000 points of stop. 1200. If I put one lot in there, this is actually a good buy. Candle 53, he didn't close above candle 52. We've got trigger candle 19 there, but all the rest of it is pretty solid. Let me have a look at this just before. 50% of the day. Let's see if this candle, it's not gonna test more than that. Already came down to the trigger candle, it's prior support. Thinking about a buy here, actually. It's just on the 15 minutes. It looks like it is a good buy. We are above 50% of the movement. I'm gonna put a buy here. I do have my stop. It's a 1200 point stop. Let me have a look on 5 minutes. Yeah, we got that inefficiency there. That gives us about 400 points up to the triggers. I'll leave my buy there. If it picks up that buy, candle 54 is testing down now, which is great. If it picks up that buy, once it hits 400 points, we'll put it on break even, okay? We are above 50% on the 15 minutes. We are above the triggers before. So trigger 21, 21, 22, 25, 24, which was original support. We have trigger candle 40 here and trigger candle 29 that could hold that price. But for the moment, this is looking pretty good on the upwards. So we could even have 28. We could even get a trade of about 2,000 points. So it's 2 for 1. We would have a 1200 stopping and 2,000 point take, which is up here. But then once it hits here, you've got to be quite careful to see if price will actually come up all this way up there. So as I said, as I say every morning, just put a little bit of money in your pocket, okay? If you see that it's enough just to create that little bit of a buffer, so when the opening of the American market comes in, or when you have a greater volatility, you can actually get into other trades with better options with that money that you made in the morning, okay? All right. Let's have a look at this. This one. Eight. All right. So candle 54 is still testing down. Let's go over to our 5-minute chart and see what's going on. Candle 160 closed below candle 159. So that could still be just a test of the 15 minutes, and that's where we put our order, okay, on the 15 minutes. So we gotta wait for this one to come back up, which is a good thing, because if we had bought it on, when we buy on a 5 minutes, normally the test is a lot smaller than when you buy on the 15 minutes. When you buy on the 15 minutes, the tests tend to be much longer, and this is why we always wait for it to test. I do know that sometimes it won't go to test, and then we don't get into the trade, and we miss out on some trades due to that fact. But the whole reason of waiting for it to test is that you want to make sure that you're actually safe, that price has found support or it has found resistance before you get into a trade. So if you're buying, you want price to have found support, because then your stop will be much lower. You can put your stop below the last support. And when you're selling, you can put your support below, above the last resistance. So this is the reason why we always waiting for the market to test, okay? And then if this price decides to come down all the way to the 50% here, to the support again, and then it rejects this 50%, we can actually buy much lower. Instead of buying up here, we can buy down here. So it's always good, you know, wait for the market to do what it has to do, and then we'll decide on what we are going to do with it. So candle 161 testing down at the moment, as we can see here on the 1 minute, that candle 802 has broken through trigger candle 784, okay, which is not a very good thing when you're thinking about buying, because you wanted to have that trigger candle as support. So when you see price breaking through trigger candles like that, that means that it's not strong enough, just enough to hold the price. You could see here before that 799, also 798 go up inside of that trigger candle. 799 pushed that back up, 802 pushed that back down with some ease, and then 803 and 804 pushing it back up once again. What I'm gonna do for the moment, price 804 is coming back up over that 50%. I'm actually thinking here if we could buy lower, because candle 161 is actually closing inside of that, confirming pullback, we might be able to buy it lower. Let's see if candle 162 is gonna test down. I don't really like to get into trades on the last minute of a candle. We can see on the 5 minutes a rejection of this 50%. So let's see if the next candle 162 will test this region once again. So we want to see price actually rejecting this here on the next candle. Now 161 closed as a doji, not as good as we wanted. Let's see, can 162 needs to test down this region, and it needs to find support in this region here before it continue on its way up. Gonna lower my entry to my trade. 162 has tested. I do want it to test lower. Let me just check one thing prior to this. We are well above the 50%. That's where it tested. Okay, cool. So I can get into this trade around here. And then my stop will be below candle 161. Okay, go test, yes. It's a lot better for you to test now than after. Good. All right, so I'm lowering my getting into that trade. Got 280 points to there, and then we got 800 points to that trigger. These trigger candles here, about 700 points. To a stop of about 840 points. Okay, so that would be one for one. Okay. We are still on a uptrend. A lot of pressure from sellers at that point. Price very consolidated. If it continues to get a lot of pressure from sellers, I will take my order out, okay? I will cancel my buying order if it continues to consolidate on that 1 minute. If you have a look, candle 806 didn't close below candle 805, but candle 807 did close below candle 806 and candle 805. And then 808 tried to come back up, but then couldn't break through the trigger candle. So it's a bit of a fight in there. I don't want to be stuck in a fight in between the price, because price could just come to grab more liquidity down below before he actually goes up and does the movement that we expect it to do. Okay, close below 50%. I'm taking my order out. So I'm not buying there. Candle 809 close below 50% of the micro movement. I am going to wait. This is the last minute of my 5-minute candle, and also the last minute of my 15-minute candle. So I'm not buying in that region at the moment. Okay. So candle 162 coming back above 50%, but then price is just too consolidated in that region. We don't want to be taking a risk when price is consolidating that much. Simply because we have support in this region, all right? So we can have a look here on the 5 minutes. You can see that we have got good support on the 50%, but the issue is that we're getting too much pressure from sellers here. So if price can't break through, that means that it will have to come down to grab liquidity for it to continue on its way up. For it to do that, it would have to stop these guys, which is candle 157, and it's exactly where our stop would be. So if it has to come and grab that liquidity in that region, we would become liquidity for the market. And that's not what we are trained to do, okay? Candle 163 did not test down, so we are not getting into that trade. And then you guys may think, oh, Tiago, but you had a buy order there, you would have got your price, you would be positive at the moment with about 300 points. Yes, I would. But one thing that we learn is that we want to be buying when the market's actually breaking through, right? What candle 54 did here, it made a pullback, but this price could easily come here, test up because it didn't test down, and then it could bring our price all the way down here to grab that other liquidity. So it's just not worth the price right now because we want the price to be breaking through and moving in the direction that you want. At the moment, we had a short here on the 5 minutes. So we have this trend line here and price is just about there, which means that it could start coming down, grab that liquidity to move up afterwards. Oh, look at that. Good rejection out of candle 163 there. So if we were in this trade right now, a lot of people would be freaking out. He would be coming to grab our stop. And then we would have started the day with a stop instead of a gain. So instead of getting that little bit of fat so you can use it afterwards, that little bit of money to play with, right now we would be at looking at almost at a stop. So it's a lot better to do things the right way. Holy bugger. Okay. So candle 163 came and grabbed the liquidity under candle 161 and 160 here. So it already grabbed that liquidity. Big pressure from buyers pushing the price back up from support. Oh, sorry guys. I don't even know how I got this cough. But I got it. So now I have to deal with it. You guys all right? Do you guys have any questions? If you do have any questions, just write down on the chat, okay? I'll do my best um, to explain all your questions. So don't hesitate on writing down on that chat. Candle 163 is just a doji at the moment. Candle 161 was also a doji. So we are not trading at the moment. I prefer to wait, okay? As I always say, and I'll say it today again, patience pays the trader. It's not the easiest job in the world, but it requires a lot of patience, lots of it. So just be patient. We've got 35 minutes through our live. We still have 25 minutes to go. Let's see if the market will give us anything special so we can get into a trade. If it doesn't, I will give you guys the overview for today, what to expect and where to buy, where to sell, and that should be awesome. Don't forget to always have your risk management in place, okay? Candle 816, she opened up with a gap. That price is going up, okay? We have support, very strong support down below. Already got all of that liquidity down below at candle 160. Price should be going up now. But I'm not gonna buy in there just because price might be going up. because we are finding a good resistance over there. So we might as well wait a little bit more. We have waited for now. One thing my mentor told me when I started day trade, um, and he said, I have said this to you guys before, is if you are not 100% sure about a movement, wait 5 minutes. Because in 5 minutes, you're going to have another candle that will be able to confirm if you're wrong or if you're right. So instead of just reacting to the price, you are going to act on the price. Okay. So there's a big difference in between action and reaction. When you react, is your brain saying, look, you're going to be out of this trade and you're losing the opportunity, and then you click. But you're just reacting to somebody else's action. When you act on a price, says, look, I'm expecting this and this and this to happen. If this and this happens, I'm going to act. So I'm going to get into this trade. And then you get into it. So acting and reacting are two different things. And when you act, normally you're calm, and then whatever happens, your decision's made, your risk management is in place, you already know where your stop is, where your take will be. Price did what you wanted it to do, and then you just act to it. Okay, so every time you're not sure, wait 5 minutes. Best advice anybody could have given me back then, because I used to react to the price quite a lot. So there we are. We have waited. 3 minutes has gone past. See, we only have to wait for another two. And then we'll know exactly what's happening with this price. Candle 161 has renewed that high, okay, of that lateralization on the 1 minute and on the 5 minutes as well. As we had anticipated, candle 164 had to go up because of that support. Once price grabs that liquidity down below and pushes the price over that 50%, we know that price is going up. Okay. Now, going up until where? I don't think that it's a good idea to buy where price is at the moment anymore. Candle 164 has tested the trigger candles to the left. So I'm just going to show you this. So we have all these trigger candles here. Sorry. So this right now is the resistance for the price in there. So it gets into that region and then it gets pushed down. So since it gets pushed down, we're not going to do anything. We are just going to wait. Look at that. Price is fighting through, trying to stay in that region. I deleted the trend line. Let me put it back in here for now. If price continues this way, okay, we are going to see this price again at the 50% region of today. Candle 164 went and it got that liquidity that was up above here, but as you can see, it got pushed down. So it already grabbed all of that liquidity there, and then it got pushed down. So once price comes back inside of the structure here, of course we can't sell because we have a very strong support in this region. and we've got very strong support here on the 50%. So it's not ideal to sell at the moment, but it's not ideal to buy either. If price rejects normally after grabbing liquidity and it rejects that maximum high instead of continue going, we can expect price to have to come down quite a bit lower. All right, but we are above 50%. We are above support, so unfortunately, nothing to do. Whatever we do here, we may get stopped, and then price will move afterwards, and we don't want to do that. No, 165, going back over the 50%. We can see here on the 1 minute that price has um, gone over that trigger candle 818. So price above 818 at the moment. Above the minimals, I meant. Okay. What is trading strategy? Oh, hi, buddy. How are you? So what we trade is we do our reading candle per candle, okay? So each candle leaves a obligation for the next candle to do. So we analyze these graphics, the chart, and then what we have is we know that price moves in between high, low, and 50%. So we have these regions of equality of price, which tend to be just above support, below resistance, or in between that 50% zone, which is pretty much the price balance zone. Okay. And then what we want to see is we want to see in these regions if we will give if you give us a, let's say, three candle pattern entry, or if you'll give us a rejection of those 50% or low or high, it can give you as a rejection there, or if price will break through and then confirm that that's a very good break, and if it closes above the other candles high or low. So what we will do is we'll keep on reading the chart as it goes, and we'll get some very good entry points on those regions. Okay, so there are various aspects to the strategies that we use, but they all involve support resistance and that 50% that the price will always come back to. So if you have a look in other strategies that people use, normally they'll get one or two entry points. Um, just 1 second, but I will answer your question in a second. So people tend to have one or two entry points, and on our technique, we actually use more than 10 entry points. So we have entry points after prices break through. We have rejection entry points. We have got pattern of three candles entry points. We have a breakthrough of high and lows. We have pullback confirmations on 1 minute or 5 minutes entry points, and we have failed pullback entries on any time frame. So it's actually a very good technique, and it gives you a lot of options to do long trades and also hard scalps. Okay, so you can do really quick scalps on the gold, which are good scalps on the gold are about 500 points with good protection. Okay, so you can protect your price really quick. If you know where price is going, you just get into that trade, get 400 to 500 points, get out, wait for the next one. So you can do hard scalps that way. What are these numbers on your chart? These numbers here, they are just the number of the candles. It's just so it makes it a lot easier for me to explain what I'm reading through. If I can tell you, look, candle 164 didn't break through the candles to the left, and it came back inside the structure. So it's just so you know which candle I'm talking about. It's a lot easier for me to teach my students if they know which candle I'm talking about, instead of me talking, oh, it's the fourth candle to the left. So this is why we have the candle counter in here, so I can explain to you exactly what I'm looking at on the chart. It's awesome to have you guys here. Okay, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our channel, and also share this channel with your friends. We make these lives every day from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock Brazilian time. So we'll be here. We'll make the analysis of the gold live every single morning. So great to have you guys. If you have any other questions, just ask away, and I'll do my best to explain them all. And also, I'll be putting up some more classes on our channel. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of trading stuff in there. We started 30 days ago, but I have been a mentor for a couple of years for an institution here in Brazil. But I've been trading since 2019. So this is just a new project on YouTube that we started for all the English speaking guys. The guys that I work with in here are Brazilian people, so I teach them in Portuguese. But now we'll start lessons in English as well. So we got Kindle 166, hasn't been able to go back up. Okay, so in between on the 1 minute, we are still above that 50%. So we got candle 80818, which is the maximum high of that movement, and at the moment 785 is the low, and our Fibos right there. We can see that we have support in this region in the 1 minute, but price is not being able to break through that trigger candle 818 and to maintain above it. As I said before, since candle 164 grabbed that liquidity and pushed the price back into inside the structure, we might be seeing this price come back down to grab the liquidity that it needs to move up. Okay, I do expect this price to come today up here. Let me tell you the region. So I expect this price to come back around here. So let's say 545, 5045, okay, around that region there. I am a buyer today, unless this price shows me that it's gonna have to come down, grab all of these liquidity they left behind, plus the inefficiency here on candle 38. And then once it gets in there on that inefficiency and grabs the liquidity below 139, it may accelerate and come down to this region here to grab that liquidity as well. Hey brother, I am from Brazil. So I used to live in New Zealand for about 24 years, and then I came back to Brazil about 3 to 4 years ago. And then I've been living here since. Okay. So there we go. As expected, candle 166 is coming down to grab a bit more liquidity. Let's see if we'll stop these guys here on candle 163. If it stopped these guys, I do expect this price to come down a bit lower, okay? But we do have the 50% of the day here on this line, this green line. That's 50% of our day today. So we might get support in that region. I am not going to short this price at the moment. We are consolidating, okay, in a consolidation zone here on 5 minutes. We don't want to be trading when price is consolidating. On the daily movement, we can see that it's all a big consolidation in here in between the support that we had mapped last night and this resistance. Okay, so price around there, what we want to see is if price is going to lose this region of 50%, so we can get some good sells here or some good buys in here after it starts breaking through. Now, we've got 10 minutes to go on the live. I'll just mark this up for you guys so you know what to expect in the opening of the American market, which is about an hour and a half away. So if price breaks through this high here and continue on its way up, we do have resistance right here. Okay, this is resistance for that price when it hits that region, so you want to keep an eye out for that. Now if it does break through and it tests this region here, oh yeah, come on, why doesn't it unselect here? So if it tests that region once again, because that's a region of resistance, it has to become support to tell us that price is going up. And then if it breaks through the 50% of that movement, when it comes to test, we can get into a good buy, and then we can buy until about here, where it's gonna grab that liquidity on that region, okay? Once it accelerates here, we might see price breaking through to grab that liquidity above, and then the only other relevant stopping point we have is this one up here, which is that trigger candle on the daily, okay? So this is the only resistance we would get going upwards. So what you might want to do is you might want to get a partial out, okay? So get into your buy trade, take a partial out on these highs here, take some of that money, put in your pocket, and then if you want to let the trade go to continue ongoing, just put your price on break even, and then let the price go up, okay? Now, this is to go long. If you want to short the market, so if you want to sell, what you want to look at is you don't want to be selling for a very long time, okay? Because we are in a bullish movement. So if you want to sell, wait for it to lose that 50% of the day. Okay, have a look how price is going to react around that 50% of the macro, which is below this 50% here, okay, of the last retracement. If price loses this 50%, the support we have is still the same support as before. So the support that we will have is this here, which is this trigger candle here. Come on, here. Okay, so this is the support we have around this region, that trigger candle 22. Price may come down there, grab that liquidity and go back up. Why? Because we have all of these inefficiency here on the daily, okay? On that candle, we have a lot of inefficiency. So price may want to come down, test that support once again before it continue on its way up. I do expect it to continue going up instead of coming down. On the 1 hour chart, we have here good liquidity zones. Okay, so we have liquidity. I'll unselect that at the 5-minute chart. So we have liquidity down here at the moment, just below candle 12. We have good liquidity below candle 3, below candle 1, candle 3 and 4 here. So it's in this region. But then if prices start to come down, it may accelerate because there's a lot of liquidity in this region below. So we could see prices come down, touch that support zone, and then pop back up. Okay, So these are the movements that we expect for today. This is what we can anticipate for the moment. But I do prefer to buy than to sell. At the moment, candle 167 came down to our trend line here, tested it for support, also came down once again to that 50% region and got big pressure from buyers in this region. Candle 168 is coming down to test, which is a very good test at the moment. According to our technique, price above 50%, it has confirmed pullback right now. If candle 837 closes below this 50%, it would be failing the pullback, okay? So if it fails the pullback, price will have to come down at least to the minimum of candle 163 or down below to that 50%. So nothing to do at the moment. All we can do is wait for the next movement. There we go. Let's 11 seconds to close. Ooh, it's going to do it all at once. Okay. All right. Let's see what's happening here. So candle 168 came down, grabbed that liquidity on the below candle 163, and then it's being pushed back up over that 50% once again. So we can see that price is just stopping buyers and stopping sellers. Stop buyers here, stop sellers, and then stop buyers again. So we are in a structure that anything we do at the moment, we may get stopped. So better not to do anything until the market actually decides to move, okay? So we are 2 minutes away from ending our live. I would like to say thank you to everybody that has been with us until this moment. Thank you very much. As I said before, so just pay attention to, where is it? Okay. So just pay attention to these regions here. We're going to get a little bit of volatility now at 10 o'clock. Prices stopping buyers and sellers at the moment. So better not to do much in that region. Okay. Too many dojis on 15 minutes. Doji is, what is it? A doji happens when we have indecision in the market. So if the market's undecided, we don't want to be taking risk in these regions, okay? We'll wait for the big players to decide where they want to take the market, and then we'll go together with them. Guys, thank you very much for your time. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our channel, and share this channel with your friends, okay? We started 30 days ago. We're doing pretty well. We have many people actually getting in touch with me about the gold and everything else, saying that they're learning a lot and that they wanted to learn more about our technique. So thank you for all you guys that have taken the time to watch this. If you have any questions, just write down. Oh, well, we have lives every day from 9 o'clock Brazilian time, okay? So 9 to 10 every single day, Monday to Friday. And we're always here Okay, so Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Brazilian time to 10 a.m. I'm gonna leave my Instagram here. I've got two, so you can follow through there as well. We're always putting something up. Um, Let me just write down. Okay, so and the other one is, that's the other Instagram. So I've got two and my Brazilian number just in case um, you need anything else. Okay, so that's my Brazilian phone number. We do offer private mentorships. Okay, so we have classrooms and workshops for new beginner traders and traders that want to learn the technique that we teach. How to read the chart and know exactly which regions we want to be buying, when we want to be shorting, when we want to be going long. And we offer all of those mentorships as well. All right, guys, thank you very much for taking the time. We might come back later on with a couple of videos. Let's see how the American opening will do, if it's going to give us some good options. And if it gives us some good options, I'll come back. I'll record a couple of videos and load it up, or maybe a couple shorts, okay? All right, this has been the trading cage. This is where we beat the gold, and we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you very much. You guys have an awesome day, and I'll catch you soon.